Hello, friends.
Oh, hello.
So I think Ben might be out this week.
Would that be Eddie and the annual report again?
Probably.
You seem to be the master.
I'm not sure anyone else is around. I also don't have the host key. Ah, Alvaro's here. Well, that's good.
Is this hey?
So I'm pretty sure that Ben is out and Aaron has been out for a bit. There are some things on the agenda. We'll give folks a few more minutes and then we'll kick it off. There's Cole. Alvaro or Cole, do either of you have the host key for this call?
I don't.
I do not either.
Okay.
But the recording is already running, so if you need to, if we just want to go with it, then they trim it later.
Yeah, it's a good call.
But then you probably can't share your screen, I think.
No, we definitely can't share screen without a host key. All right, well, we can at least talk through some of the stuff on the agenda. So the call's already in progress, which means the recording is happening. So don't say anything you don't want recorded public on the internet. And I guess let's get started. So cool. I'm filling in for Ben today. Thank you for coming to the SIG testing bi-weekly meeting from March 8th. My name is Eddie Zaneski and I'll be your host. Just a quick reminder that this call and all calls and projects under the Kubernetes org abide by the CNCF Code of Conduct. So please be excellent to each other. And with that, do we have any new folks on the call that would like to introduce themselves?
I am newish. I've been to one of these meetings. I'm Tim. I'm from Intel Corporation, just here observing for now.
Awesome. Welcome, Tim.
Thanks.
Any other new folks? Cool. So going through the open discussion items on the agenda, we have an update from Linus on the Proud Docs. I don't think Linus is on the call. but it's live and it's tracking towards being done, which is awesome.
Yeah, I think we've, I can kind of speak to this a little bit. I think the site is up, but there's not really much content there yet. It's just kind of the skeleton and all the infrastructure for it. So yeah, I think next steps are to start migrating docs over.
Awesome. Great work to y'all. Any other thoughts on Proudocs and that initiative?
I think Linus is planning to migrate the existing docs, but once we get to that point, I think it would just be kind of the situation where we want contributions to them if people think that there's anything missing, that kind of thing.
Cool. And was that that was tracked somewhere, right? The Proudocs?
There's some GitHub issues for it, and yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what you're referring to, or were you expecting something more?
Yeah, was there a cap or was there a umbrella issue?
I will ask Linus about that. I don't recall, to be honest.
Okay. I don't see anything in enhancements, but okay, cool. That's awesome. Paris put on here that she wants us to finish the annual report, which I guess we'll circle around to. And looks like we have a couple other items. Is this is Sanchayan on the call? I'm terrible with names, I'm sorry. Doesn't look like it. Getting started with integration testing on Kubernetes. Going through the repo is confusing. Yeah, it can be intimidating at first. I think there are definitely some recorded walkthroughs from past KubeCons and contributor summits. And if they aren't linked in the documentation, we should definitely get them there. Anyone have other thoughts on that?
Agree. Documentation always lag behind. Not just this.
Yeah. Yeah, Aaron has given plenty of walkthroughs in the past, and they are definitely strung throughout different SIG testing meetings. We should probably get one recorded independently, and we can put that on there too. So we can maybe talk about that in the future. If we have a volunteer who knows how to navigate that very well and wants to do it. Any other thoughts on Proud testing and documentation? Cool. Rian, you have an item on here.
Yes, if you click on the link there by 7-8 March and you follow that, you'll see which is a little, I hope the link's working. If somebody can approve, it should help the link to work. Is it working? It does not seem to work. So let me just catch it here, copy. I don't know why I don't have edit rights on the doc. I normally do. Okay, if you have a look at that link, you'll see that that test now, I had it in Slack yesterday, the day before yesterday, and then I had the logs for 7 and 8, and today I've got the logs for 8 and 9. It seems to, something is removing the logs. And for us to be able to, that test is running green. Every time I check, it's running green. But 2 weeks down the line, I want to prove that it had 2 weeks flake free to get it merged for conformance, for which we already have the promotion lined up. But I am in a corner for proving that everything went green. So I'm not sure if something changed, that the logs are not showing. I don't know if there's anybody on the call that know about. I posted it in Slack in SIG testing, but got no reaction to that.
I don't know what's going on off the top of my head, but I have some ideas. One might be the days of results setting is kind of how the garbage collection mechanism is controlled for that. So I'm not sure exactly where that would be defined for this, but that would be one thing that I'd go looking for.
Anybody specific that I should ping to look at that? I'm not sure who's in charge of these logs.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to determine the best job owner for that besides like looking at the Git logs for the job configuration.
I'll see if I can find any changes that was made, because it wasn't like this previously. Previous tests you always just kept running, and you easily at least had 2 weeks window to prove your flag-free test. So this is a little uncomfortable for us for conformance testing. Okay, thanks. I'll go have a look at that. That's it for me. Thanks, Eddie.
Cool. That was all the other items on the agenda. Does anyone have any others they'd like to talk through before we look at the annual report? Okay. I'm going to drop in the running doc we had from last time. And it was this one. This was our annual report. And let's see. Well, we needed to clean it up and get it shipped. Doesn't look like any edits were made since the last time we met. I unfortunately don't know enough to fill in all the fields here. I think we filled in as much as we could. We do have Alvaro. Are you still actively working on Prow? Is there anything you want to highlight from the past year in here?
Yeah, there are probably a couple of things. So off of the top of my head, most of Power got support for GitHub apps authentication. We did some work for config sharding, and probably to some degree Chao's work regarding the Bazel deprecation as well. I mean, it partly happened last year.
Do you have any links?
Yeah, we did.
Sorry, go ahead.
We did a lot of work on Prow over the past year. I think a lot of it was geared at applications for other open source communities or for other uses for Prow. Like a lot of the stuff Alvaro just mentioned. There's also the, I think the Bazel deprecation is one of the big ones that's happened recently. I'm sure there's a few more things that we can try to scrape together. I didn't have a chance to look at this last week, but I can try to find another item or two.
That's a good summary, though. You said Prow work for other open source projects and communities.
Yeah, so like the GitHub apps support, you know, that's obviously a great feature for Prow, but probably wasn't really, you know, hasn't really been used by the Kubernetes community. We now have like validation for unknown fields and job config, but that can't be enabled by the Kubernetes community because there's just too many jobs that are broken and we can't reasonably fix them all. Yeah, so there's Prow's been getting new features, but Kubernetes hasn't always been using them.
Cool, awesome. Do you have any? Are there any big PRs or issues that we can link to in here for those?
Do we want to be calling out the things that don't benefit the Kubernetes community itself?
I don't think it hurts because Prow is, you know, Kubernetes native CI/CD, so it is a product of SIG testing. So if we want to, if not, that's fine too. Anyone that can speak towards updates on kind that were made? What about the end-to-end test framework? Cool. I guess I'll just open this PR as I can with what's in here, and yeah, we can go from there. Any other sub-project owners want to make sure their work's represented and their contributors' work's represented? Anything to call out? Any specific areas where we need help in certain sub-projects?
I had a question regarding Kubernetes using the test framework.
Cool. What's the specific question?
Yeah, it's a beginner question. So I was trying to write an integration test, but I couldn't really figure it out very well. I dove into the code, but I kind of got lost in it. So what's a good way to start?
Oh, I think we talked about this before you joined. There are some recorded walkthroughs of the test infra repo and the proud jobs. If you look through the past contributor summits and past KubeCons. So look through like the CNCF playlist for past KubeCons and look for the contributor summits. And there should be some walkthroughs in there. We also agree that we definitely need to get some more updated information there as well.
Because for E2E testing, I saw it's kind of detailed, but in the other type of tests, if anyone wants to write, they're going to be stuck trying to figure it out for themselves. So that's why I also wanted to bring it up.
Yeah, I don't know if we have anyone on the call who can speak to the specifics of the end-to-end test framework. Yeah, I don't think so. We got a bit of a light call today.
And definitely also looking back at previous recordings of this meeting also would give you some insights about how it works. So it's going to take a bit of time. If every other documentation could be better, agreed. But looking back at previous recordings also give you some insights on how the SIG work. I hope that helped.
Any other thoughts, comments on the meeting today or the annual report? Cool. Well, thanks everyone for coming. I'll sync up with steering and maybe we can get some steering support going forward.
Thanks for handling this, Eddie.
Thanks, everyone.
Have a nice day. See you later. Cheers.
Thanks.